Up now we have Direwolves and Mindfreak, and Mindfreak, they're looking hot, and Direwolves, like we were saying, it's their time to start stepping up as a roster.
Stage 1 we were playing with Vive. He's a manager sub, so we weren't exactly expecting too much. We knew Vive's a good player, maybe not to the same caliber as Fiber, but we knew he could get the job done to at least get out of top 32 into top 16. Only dropping 2 series to top 6 teams is definitely not a disappointing result, especially going to game 5 against Havoc. And yeah, heading into stage 2 Swiss, we just knew that we had more to come. Going into the Mindfreak series, we have a pretty good record against them. It wasn't really too daunting going into the series. The general game plan we expect from them is Billy in our end, Requiem in our end taking boost, with Ben and Fever trying to bounce off each other to make a play of some form. We've always been pretty comfortable with it. They haven't really changed themselves up too much. Going into the series, I think our series to confirm our first seed placement, we were definitely feeling pretty confident.
Find a mistake coming out from Direwolves and it will be lights out, but Misty wants to stop that from happening. That's an open net for Fiber. He's found it. Direwolves get the lead. The touch was so crucial, and that put Mindfreak straight back in a game that you'd almost say they'd lost given how the play's gone, but Fiber sets it up. This is what he's known for.
We have Requiem accidentally clearing the ball for his team. This is really tough for Fever. He's getting bumped, and it just lets Fiber air dribble that ball in and that chance. But Mindfreak, they might feel a bit lucky to find themselves into this overtime, but their offense again has been great this game.
Yeah, no, I think they'd have forgotten the Zen thing and started to remember the Fever thing. Zen. Requiem.
I'm impressed with Fiber as well this series, because again, like Misty coming into the team, it's more of a star-studded lineup, and Fiber, he's just playing solid.
At least feel a lot more comfortable in defense at the moment, but that dunk from Fiber should be enough. Gets it across to Zen, and hopefully not a kickoff goal overtime like we saw in game 1.
Putting the other team in the half, and it is up to Mindfreak here. They need to score, or else this series is over.
A chance here. This one's hit the backboard. It's gonna be in. Misty 3-0. The team that just took down Ground Zero. They 3-0 Mindfreak.
We didn't quite expect a 3-0. They're all very capable players and a very capable team. It's hard to say that they weren't necessarily on their game though, because they did just come out of a 3-2, I think, or a 3-1, beating Ground Zero, who ended up winning the entire thing. You could maybe pin it down to inconsistency, but throughout the series, there were very uncharacteristic mistakes from, I think, Billy especially, Requiem. There were a lot of defensive misses. We didn't exactly have to work too hard for a lot of our goals, I don't think. It was just a lot of roll-ins, a lot of just open nets. Definitely wasn't the Mindfreak we come to expect after the major from the fall split. Having playoffs the next day after top 16, we're feeling pretty confident. Going 3-0 in series and 9-0 in games across that day, of course you feel pretty good. For us, it was more just a thing of staying composed throughout the weekend. Playing a potential 3 best-of-7s is quite draining, especially when you know that they matter a lot. So heading into the playoffs weekend, for us at least, having that first regional under our belt. Fenrir, we had actually scrimmed, I think, a couple of days beforehand, and they were very, very aggressive. They were playing a very gamers-esque playstyle. We basically forced ourselves to make our own space, where we just smothered the other team. We took all their boosts. We started just demoing. Very much what Team Fenrir were doing in our scrims. Felt very familiar. Once you do get into a proper regional event, the nerves start kicking in. And we knew that as they were a pretty new team, having the same sort of team experience as us in terms of regional events together, we knew even if the scrims went 50-50 in win-loss, we were still feeling pretty good about it. Even if we did have a matchup against them.
Should be exciting either way. Team Fenrir, their first real chance here to prove themselves. They took on Ground Zero in the last one, went to game 6, and Direwolves went to game 7. Fiber getting one in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
A big solo play come from. He's also the one that tries to go for the most of them. So it's not. Zen, that should open it up. Direwolves do take game 1. That is what you do against Fenrir to take a win. Is so difficult, much more difficult than it looks.
Honestly, like, the accuracy was amazing, of course, but I'm just impressed with the speed he was able to get on that. But
Zen has the solo play. He's got it back up there. Ooh. Misty with the fake. It's right in front of net, and it's in. Fiber again. Looking at their defensive mistakes rather than necessarily all on Direwolves. It was a good fake out from Misty, and it's a good opening here to finish off this game. They need to be on top form.
Yeah, and they are looking good. We definitely know Fiber's on top form today. You can even see him there just being so quick not to create.
They're getting in front and recognizing those opportunities where they do have space to open it up, and that's a freebie once again. It'll be a goal.
Ground Zero have actually been known to give a few defensive goals that they probably shouldn't. So 6-0 to end this game.
Direwolves in a very good spot and moving on to another top 4.
Yeah, taking the 4-1 against Fenrir, it felt pretty comfortable after that second game loss, I think. Second or third game loss. Definitely weren't getting pressured as hard as they were in our scrims. So, yeah, definitely just a confidence booster, a bit of a warm-up going into our next series against either Ground Zero. Ground Zero, probably the most threatening team in the region, to be honest. We were definitely expecting a very aggressive Ground Zero, a very composed Ground Zero, a very threatening Ground Zero.
Also lending to them having a better start, better synergy from the get-go. Torsos was a
Direwolves, just really nice passing, and this is...
Yeah, here's another miss from Ground Zero. I mean, we haven't seen them actually miss a lot of opportunities whatsoever, and it goes the other way. Direwolves just hold on to this game. They continue showing that their defense can be a strong suit for them. A double touch possibility here. It's on target. Another one here from Fiber goes too high. Can that one go in? It does! Misty finds a huge angle over the top. And that's just going to happen when you've got Ground Zero here making these goals. Torsos.
In the first 2 games, it was definitely a struggle to get back into the swing of things. Being first seed, we were first game up at 10 a.m. And I think we had our series at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. against Ground Zero. Game 4, we had the series tied up. The Ground Zero that we had imaged definitely probably wasn't there on the day. It felt as if all the games were very winnable. Much like Fenrir, they weren't as pressure heavy as they'd like to be in scrims or any other sort of scenario. So it felt very winnable across most of those games. In the end, I think the reason they did end up winning the series was just a lack of composure from us, giving away a lot of free goals. You know, much like Fenrir, some of the goals that Ground Zero got, they did not have to work for at all. You know, there's a lot of factors that went into it, but I think you could probably just group them all into just lack of composure.
And that's just make it strangling against Direwolves, who will not be able to do it. And Ground Zero have finished off this series very strongly.
Yeah, Ground Zero looking really good. With Direwolves, you know, it's going to be disappointing. They can't seem to break this top 4.
So that's 2 top 4s in a row for Direwolves.
Not making top 2 is obviously disappointing. It makes making top 2 overall in the point standings very difficult as well. The goal still doesn't change. If we do want to make Worlds for Season 10, we need to be taking a couple of regional event wins. So we're not out of the race. Need to start really picking up the pace and getting some top 2s, preferably some top 1s. Especially that major that's coming up, the Winter Major, heading into Regional 3 and all the events after that. We definitely will be taking some wins.